So actually, funnily enough, my first player of the match award, which I had gotten in some local tournament, was given by Janandi. And also, funnily enough, it wasn't for my bowling, it was for my batting.
Really?
Yes.
Jhulan gave an award to you for batting.
Yes.
Hi everybody, hope you're all doing well. It's an absolute delight to be back with a new season of the Delhi Capitals podcast. I'm your host Suprita Das, and on this podcast, we try and take you a little closer to the lives and the stories of our favorite Delhi Capitals stars. Thank you so much for over the seasons showing so much love, and we hope it's given you an opportunity to know our players and coaches a little bit better. On this episode of the podcast, I can pretty surely say that this is one of our youngest guests on the podcast. She is officially Gen Z. But if you speak with her for a while, I can at least vouch. I feel like I'm speaking with someone who's closer to my age. Titash, hi. Welcome to the podcast.
I do not appreciate you saying that I'm closer to your age.
But I feel like, so take it as a compliment.
Okay, I'll try to.
Okay. How's it going? How have you been?
I've been good.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's still pretty early in the morning.
I'm sorry, but I'm thankful to you from the bottom of my heart for taking time out. And can we get you some coffee?
No, it's fine, thanks.
Cha?
No, thanks.
Are we going to slip into some Bengali in the middle of this?
I don't think so.
No? Okay, let's roll in whatever we're comfortable with.
Yes.
Titash, it's been one crazy year for you, the last 12 months or so, starting with the Under-19 World Cup win in South Africa. WPL happened. Your India senior debut has happened, and here we are in season 2 of WPL. How has it been, and how have you processed everything?
I don't think I've processed it really well.
Huh?
Yeah, it has been a crazy year with a lot of events, a lot of happenings. But all in all, it has been good.
And you've not had the chance to process it. It's all happened so fast. How do you then keep going? Because it's not easy, obviously, spending so much of time on the road, away from home, away from friends and family, moving on from one tournament to another, one match to another. Because you have to get up every morning at the end of the day and do your job. How are you managing?
That's what you said. It's your job.
Yeah.
You have no choice, and that's the thing, right? Like, recently I heard this thing, like, what is motivation? You waking up not wanting to do it and you still do it, that is motivation enough. And I think that's important. Like, you just keep doing your job and find something you like in it.
So speaking of a job that you like and enjoy, it is a choice, right? Whether it's you playing cricket, me doing what I'm doing, all of us are making active choices. And all these choices come with pros and cons. So let's start talking about how and why you made the choice. I don't think you grew up wanting to become a cricketer, did you?
No. And I think there was no definite time
Huh.
or definite day or moment that I made the choice either. Because, like, as you said, it happened very fast. So, we were playing and I finished my 10th. COVID happened. There was a period of 6 months where there was nothing because the results hadn't come in. We didn't know 11th, what we'll study, what's the marks, because the results are not there. You can't enroll in a school.
Correct.
So we just thought we'll just train because that's all you could do during the COVID because you had no other choice. So we were training, and then after the COVID happened, the lockdown, after finishing of the lockdown, we came back to the sport, and I was different because physically I had grown.
Right.
So suddenly I was bowling better, I was stronger, and you could see that. And I think performing is a very important thing because the moment you start performing in something, you start liking it a little more.
Yeah.
And I think that's what had happened. And then I debuted for seniors in Bengal, and then it carried on from there. And suddenly that ZCA camps and NCA, all the preparatory things for the World Cup started happening. And I think from then on it was only forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And like it's going to be just forward and upward. Tell me about fast bowling though. It's not a choice that a lot of kids in India, especially, pick up. Mostly a child would want to become a batter, mostly. how and why did fast bowling happen to you? Was there a moment when you said, okay, in these things in cricket, this is the one I think that's seeming most appealing to me and I think I'll excel at?
No.
Yeah. But there's something about
Yeah.
the
So
art of fast bowling that
I think
seems attractive to you.
that came later.
Hmm.
So I was young. I was 13 when I started playing
Ma'am,
cricket.
you're still very young. What do I call you? Child. Yes.
So the appeal was yet to be known
Okay.
when I started playing. Like appeal of cricket, the art of cricket, the art of fast bowling. That I learned later, that I understood later.
Yeah.
So it was very simple, like very Bengali of us. Like whatever you're decent at, you do. I was decent at fast bowling.
Naach Gaan, Chobi Aka, fast bowling.
Naach Gaan, Chobi Aka, I was never
Not
decent
at all.
So fast bowling, I was decent at. So we
Yeah.
carried forward.
But did you have like a background in running or in track and field? That usually helps, right?
Yeah, I used to run, but I didn't
Okay.
run very well.
Okay.
I think I run better now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably because of all the help and mentoring you've had.
Yeah, I think that was a change. Like I worked on myself a lot. Like fitness wise.
Of course. In your short career so far, there's a lot of highlights. So we'll talk about some of those big highlights now. Let's start with the Under-19 World Cup. Crazy finals. You have a thing for doing well in finals, and nobody's complaining. But the night before the final, can you tell me what you guys probably spoke about? Was it ever on your minds that the Indian women's team has not won, a title or a trophy, an ICC trophy, a major trophy yet, and this bunch could be the one changing that?
It was drilled into us. And I think that made a lot of difference. I remember before the World Cup started, Mithali Raj had come to speak to us.
Okay.
And what she had said was very prominent in our minds, because she had said a lot of women athletes, women cricketers have tried this and have failed. And right now the 18 of you, we were 18 there, 18 of you have the opportunity to make all of their dreams come true.
Wow.
Yeah, and I think that spoke to us. And I remember,
I'm having goosebumps.
yeah, I still,
Imagining Mithali telling that to you guys.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think, I remember the morning of the finals, my dad had called me. Me and Shweta Sherawat, we were roommates. So he was talking to both of us. He was like, it's fine. Like, both of the teams have come to the finals, and whoever loses wins. It doesn't matter, because you have come to the finals because you are the best teams. And final can be anyone's. But I remember me and Shweta talking after that, like, it doesn't matter. We have to win. Because if you don't win, no one remembers who had,
The runners up.
no one remembers them.
Wow.
Yeah. And I think all, like, everything together, we were very focused. Like, everyone was looking at that cup.
Tell me something, when you go into bowl, for example, especially like a big match like a World Cup final, right? Is there something you tell yourself or something that you do to hype yourself up just
Not
before you're going
really.
into bowl?
So I try to be excited and happy that today you get another opportunity to perform, give your best. Because even if you lose but you have given your best, you can live with that. It's fine that I gave my best and yet we fell short. That's fine. But you can't be happy if you have not given your best. So that is one thing. But I don't think, like, I never think of it like it has to be, I have to do this and I have to perform, I have to get 3 wickets, I have to get 4 wickets. It doesn't happen that way. So I just try to think like, yeah, you have to do the best you can so the team wins
Correct.
for the country.
You have a routine, like a lot of people have certain kind of playlists that they tune into before going into a game. What is yours?
So it changes all the time. But right now I've been doing this thing, and the first song I listen to when I get onto the bus is Try by Mickey.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will try. And
It's a very nice song.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. What were you listening to in South Africa? There's good local music though.
Yeah, I don't remember. It was so long ago.
Yeah? No, it wasn't
I
long
think-
ago, but okay.
It feels long ago.
Yeah, it feels.
But I think we used to listen to a lot of weird music. Like,
Okay.
all fun stuff.
Yeah. After history was made, how was that? What was it like in South Africa? Because after you came back to India, of course, there was a completely different episode altogether. How did you guys celebrate?
I don't know how to explain it. Like, there were different halves of it. Like,
Okay.
initially it was like, oh, like, goodness, it's done now. Like, we have finally won, because it was so long. It wasn't just the 1 month there, but before that we had ruthless competition before, because I can vouch for it that there were another 15 players in India who couldn't make it to the team, who would have been excellent part for it, who deserved to be there.
Right.
That was the competition we had been through, and that for the last year before the World Cup. So it was very long. It felt very, very long.
Yeah.
By the time we won, we were like, we couldn't believe the fact, let alone it being we winning. The fact that it was over was something we couldn't digest. Like, okay,
But there was a sense of relief.
yeah, that
Ho gaya.
ho gaya. But then came another thing, like, what now?
Yeah.
Because it was a goal for so long.
Mm.
For 6-7 months, the only focus was that goal, and then it's achieved.
Yeah.
So, what to do now? What are we training for? Like, what would be the next big thing for
Yeah.
us? But then again, I remember me and Shweta again, we were sitting and we were talking about that, and then we're like, okay, WPL.
Mm.
That is something we can look forward to. And then
Correct.
we have World Cup again this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, in October.
Yeah.
So those are things you can again make a goal of.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
We'll speak about WPL and how your Delhi Capitals journey has been. But before that, I know, when I was following the World Cup news, and I think I saw a YouTube clip when you guys came back from South Africa and you went back to school. I think they had a reception or something for you, right? What was that like? You took a break in your... did you take a break here to be able to focus on your
I'm
cricket?
still taking break years.
It's a nice break. Successful break.
Yeah, it has been successful only on one front though.
But that's okay. I mean, that's a choice. Do you feel like though at times, what was it like going back to school? Like, with students and your teachers, your girls who you probably sat and studied with, to just go back there as a world champion.
It was surreal.
Huh.
But unfortunately, the people I studied with were already out of school.
Oh, okay.
They were all kids. Like, people who were in 11th, 12th, but my juniors.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's weird because it's very easy to clap someone's back when something is achieved.
Yeah.
But what is more important is to back them up and be their wall when they are growing. And I think that is very important.
Yeah.
And something we miss out a lot.
I told you this was not going to be a conversation with a 19-year-old, and I am not complaining. Tell me something, like you said, so there are two things to it. One, of course, is being by somebody's side when it's not happy days, because during happy times, it's easy. There's everyone there to celebrate your success, right? But obviously, that's not how every story or every day pans out. So on a day, for example, when you've had not such a great day on the field, maybe the team's going through a rough patch, but you still have to get up the next day, go for training, play that next match, prepare. How do you deal with it? The lows, the not so great days.
I think it's all about just doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you keep going.
Okay.
Like Rihanna said, fake it till you make it.
Nice. Huh.
That 19 enough for you?
Very 19 enough for me. Let's go. Let's make it more Gen Z. I love Rihanna.
Yeah. Because I think the best part about cricket or any sport is that even in the not so great days, the most important part is you try to find something that is good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe the match wasn't good enough, fine.
Yeah.
Maybe you and your friends hanging around after the match talking about cricket that could be the good part of the
Yeah,
highlight
you,
of
you
the
go
day.
back with that.
Yeah,
And
you-
that's not so bad.
That's not so bad.
Yeah.
And maybe you did something good. It can't be that bad, right?
Wow, I'm taking a note of that, as you say. Because there are so many days that are
Yeah.
not hard, right? But
And it's not
पूरे
only
दिन
for-
में कुछ तो अच्छा हुआ होगा.
कुछ तो अच्छा हुआ होगा
Correct.
यार मतलब at least you had some good lunch maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe you had some good food.
Yeah.
If not that, you can have some good food now.
Yeah, and change your mood.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. The other thing is, it's not easy being a modern day athlete. Like you said, you're still on a break from your studies as well. While maybe the girls you went to school with, or the group that you had, maybe like a tight core group from school, they're doing their own things. While you have your life where you're representing the country, spending so much of time away from home, it's hard, and it means often having to miss out on things that maybe those friends of yours are doing. It could be, I don't know, things like bunking college classes, for example. Do you miss being that, or do you miss out on that life?
I think there was one.
FOMO होता है. FOMO होता है.
What is FOMO?
No, you are the Gen Z.
Sorry, what is FOMO?
It's the fear of missing out.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know that.
I taught you something today.
Thanks.
Well done.
I really didn't know that.
No problem.
I
No
thought-
problem.
I thought FOMO is a word.
It is a Gen Z word. It's Gen Z lingo. 1 point to me. Thank you.
I seriously didn't know that.
No problem. No, but really what I wanted to find out is, like, do you feel like, you're missing out on stuff in life which your friends are getting to do or getting to experience because your life and your career choice is so different from theirs?
I think now it's less, but before I used to feel that a lot, especially when they were in 12th, going on into college, and I was out playing and everything. I think then I used to feel it a lot because, like Instagram and everything has the thing of glorifying everything a lot more than what it is. So I would see like them going clubbing, having fun, doing that and all of it. But and also like I was one of those kids who will be like very focused, and I'll only do what I'm supposed to do, have a routine, set routine, do not deviate from that.
Yeah.
But I have grown from that. Like, you can have fun.
Yeah.
As simple as that. You can have fun. You can do your job and you can still have fun.
Yeah.
I think I have a very good lot of people in my life.
Touch wood. That's key.
Yeah. My parents, my friends, the people I'm with all the time. And they give me a good space, like where I can have fun, go out, chill, and also come back to when I am sad and in pain. So I'm very glad that I have those people in my life.
Yeah, no, that's important, because I think this life it is hard. It's a hard choice.
Yeah, and I
to make.
think one thing that happens is that you disconnect a lot with the friends you have had in the past because the lives are so different. Because the problems they might share about are not some things you can
connect with.
because you find it quite childish that to
Okay.
be upset about something like that,
Okay.
because we are out here away from our parents for so long, and your friends are upset that they have to stay home or that their parents were upset with them, and here we don't even get the chance for them to be upset at us.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
So it's like a different life.
Yeah, true. Tell me something. A part of this different life and this different choice that we make is to deal with the pressure of expectation, right? Representing your country is not a small deal. No way. Whatever it is that you're doing, you're representing India. That's a massive deal. And it's come so early. You're so young. And I think I can't count on my fingers the number of times I have read articles saying future of Indian fast bowling, the next Jhulan Goswami. We'll speak about Jhulu later. Does all that get to you? Tags, articles, or general expectation when you're going out to play? I think it's a great thing that women's cricket in India now is a space where you do get crowds at stadiums, people cheer for you. Like last night at Chinnaswamy was wild. I think the bulk of the women's cricket that has been played recently has been in Mumbai and in Navi Mumbai, and there have been packed stands, which is great to watch. But does it also add to the pressure? and generally the pressure of performing for your team?
I don't know, like I've never felt it.
Yeah.
Like, especially I felt like when you're in the ground, it all quiets down. It feels more when you're out, but like when you're inside the ground and you're doing your thing,
Yeah.
it all quiets down. It's all white noise after that. But I think obviously expectations will be there, and it's not about cricket. Take any general kid in India.
Of course.
There's so much expectations of especially our generation. If you see competition, you have to get good marks, you have to do this, you have to be good in extracurricular activities as
Yeah,
well.
her generation ka hai, by the way, just not yours.
Like,
just say.
but the competition has just increased
Correct.
with time.
It's harder.
It's
And
harder.
I just think that, the internet and social media and
has only
how
made
much
it-
it rules our lives just has taken it to another
Yeah.
extent.
And also, like, if you know it very well, in Bengal it's like very academically focused.
Correct.
Right? So like that competition is huge there.
Hmm.
And every time you give an exam, you'll be by your parents, everyone, you'll be compared to your best friend or
Yeah.
someone who is doing good. So that is something you learn to live with.
Right.
And it's not only about cricket. I think what you have to understand is very important, that what you expect of yourself. And you live up to that. And if you're living up to that, then it's fine. And if you think you're falling short of that, then you need to push yourself.
Yeah. While we were talking of those newspaper articles and headlines of you being tagged as the next Julan, I don't like these articles and tags at all. I don't know about you, but maybe you could share with us what was your first journey, first meeting, first interaction with Julan, and how it's panned out since then up until now.
So actually, funnily enough, my first player of the match award, which I had gotten in some local tournament, was given by Janandi. And also, funnily enough, it wasn't for my bowling, it was for my batting.
Really?
Yes.
Julan gave an award to you for batting.
Yes.
Koto run kotechilish?
I think 94,
Of?
49.
Are you good with numbers? You remember all this, huh?
Yeah. That was the first time I had scored so big.
Wow, okay.
And also, it's easy to remember 94, 49.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Since then, I think we have seen a lot of each other. And now she travels with the team, Bengal team, because
Yes.
she's the mentor of us.
Yeah.
And it has been great, really.
Are there other like role models you look up to? Someone who you're like, I want to be as fast as this bowler, or like this is a style I'd like to adopt going ahead.
I think the first time I had played for Bengal, I had debuted under Rumeli Dhar. And when I had seen her playing cricket, I genuinely remember feeling that if I play cricket, I want to play like her, like with the passion she holds. I've never seen anyone as passionate about cricket as her.
Wow.
And like, she's amazing.
Nice. Okay. Your second season now, Titash, with Delhi Capitals. Tell me what this experience has been like. I can at least say that there's so many people who talk about like your team atmosphere, giving you like a homely experience. Often you don't know if it's really homely, but I feel like with this group, with this gang, it really does feel like that.
Yeah.
And you can tell me how you feel about it.
I mean, ever since the first season, like, without even knowing, and it's not like we take out a different amount of time to talk and meet up with each other. No, but
Yeah.
like, it's just the feeling, like, as if like you have put a group of people who have known each other for a long time together, and there's this warm and cozy thingy. But like, the funny thing is, like, that never happened. We don't know each other for a long time yet.
Right. Yeah.
We have that cozy thing.
Yeah.
And I think credit goes to, I think, our coaches and our support staff and Meg for being so nurturing and so warm, full of warmth.
Yeah. What are your biggest learnings? Because it's a team with like quite a few stalwarts. What has been your biggest learning? And, have you had the opportunity to pick anyone's brain if need be? How has that gone?
I think WPL, the first season of WPL changed me as a player.
How?
Because we were coming on from the under 19s, and under 19 and seniors, it's a lot of difference. And the pace of the game, the understanding of the game, the strategies you have to use, those are very different.
Yeah.
So I think because of this WPL experience of a month that I had, that helped me onwards to understand what you actually need to be at that level. Yeah. So you can see it right in front of your eyes. Like, these are the goals,
Yeah.
or these are the boxes that I have to tick to get there. And I think that helped a lot because we finished the WPL, we had like 1.5 month break. So I trained then, and then we went on to play the Emerging Asia Cup.
Correct.
And I think I became a different player altogether in that span, because it was all because of the learnings in WPL, because you learned what are the things you have to touch on. These are the, like, it's like an exam, right? Like, these are the topics which is gonna come in the exam, so you study them. Yeah.
Has there been any player who's been like a, surprise package for you in any way, like game wise or personality wise? Because, when you all got sort of inducted into the team and the squad was put together, okay, there's a Meg Lanning coming, there's a Marizanne Kapp coming, there's an Alice Capsey coming, there's my Indian group so and so joining the squad, and this is our team. These are the people I know, these are the people I'm going to be meeting for the first time. But of course, you've seen them, you've read about them, you've heard about them. Is there anybody, you came in with a particular mindset and she completely surprised you? You were like, oh, ye to expect nahi kiya tha isse.
But actually, the thing is, like, when for the first season, I actually knew no one. That was the hard part. Like, I literally knew no one.
Shifu?
Yeah, but that's all.
That's it.
That's it. No one else. And that too, like, Shefali also knew only for a month maybe, because she only joined in for that World Cup.
Yeah.
And the thing is, one thing I've learned from Apurva Desai, he is a coach in NCA. He had told me that it's a good thing. Let's say you are in an environment where you don't know anyone. That's when you try to talk to everyone, learn from everyone. Now let's put me in that. You know me. Now you will gravitate towards me.
Yeah.
Now you stop learning from everyone else there. So I think that was a blessing that I was in a team where I didn't know anyone.
Because you're like a sponge and you can absorb everything. Yeah.
And also, like, you're not preoccupied somewhere else.
True. I think for me, the biggest surprise package, I mean, hands down, has to be Meg.
Yeah.
Purely because, you're getting the opportunity to work with someone who is right up there in terms of the game, and you have a certain image and a certain understanding of how she might be. Of course, all those boxes are ticked, but it's just been so much more beyond that.
Yeah. And you don't know what to, like, talk, like, you don't know what to say about it. Like, you don't have the words.
What to describe it.
Yeah,
because
like,
all the girls who I spoke with last season and even this season have just so many things to say about her beyond the cricket and beyond the captaincy that she stands for.
I mean, like, you don't know how to describe it, do you? It's like, it's just more, and you just know that she is the very best at what she does.
Yeah.
But again, she's more than that. But you don't know how
more
to,
than that.
Yeah, but you don't know how to describe it. And also, like, I think Cappy was a great surprise.
Yeah.
Because I've always seen her on TV, like, she looks quite angry.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she's so sweet.
Yeah. I find that personality split very interesting, and it's actually very typical of fast bowlers. See, we've been talking for so long, like since last year. Your personality is not on the outside of aggression or anger. You're speaking, I'm not saying like you're misbehaving, like I'm not putting any labels, but we're speaking nicely, not shouting or being angry with each other. And generally you are soft spoken when you are interacting with people.
Yeah.
But the moment you're on the field and that switch turns on and you have to run into bowl, it's completely different.
Is it though?
I think that's typical of fast bowlers.
I don't think so.
Really?
Yeah. I think
for Cappy, it's for sure. I think it works. She's so reserved, right? And then you saw her how she was roaring after she got Smriti's wicket last night.
Yes, but you have to understand the context of it.
Of course.
As well.
Yeah.
I think she's someone who knows what she does, and she likes it. She likes being calm. I think she finds pleasure in it. That I'm here to do my job.
Yeah.
I'll be calm, I'll be composed. You get your head strained. I
Yeah.
don't care. I'm just here to do my job and I'll get
Yeah.
it done.
That's a brilliant quality to have, right?
Yeah,
Like
I
to
don't
cut
give,
everything that's
I don't
going
give,
on around you.
I don't give anything.
Yeah.
Like, I don't give thoughts into it.
Correct.
Because this is what I
correct.
do.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's incredible. It's incredible. I find that split personality often like in athletes, especially in the sense like fast bowlers, because that's you are the most aggressive of the lot in cricket, or maybe like boxers, for example. Off the ring there's something else, and the moment you put them in a ring, there is like Mary Kom becomes a tigress, that kind of thing. That's interesting. Anyway, back to the cricket now. I want you to tell me what happened on the 6th of January 2024, Titash. You're good with dates, you're good with numbers. Go on.
That I didn't remember.
This little homework I've also done, no?
I'm actually not that very good with dates.
No, but
Anyhow.
let's talk about that first
Yeah.
T20, India, Australia, Navi Mumbai. You have blown the top order off. I think in your first 2 overs, I could be wrong, you were 3 for 3. Their score was 3 for 3, something. You had taken Bet Mooney, I remember. Talia McGrath,
Gardner.
Ash Gardner. It was something else, even before you had completed your quota of 4 overs. क्या खाया था तुमने उस दिन?
I don't remember.
But that was something else. Just tell me about the high of that match. It was some way to like. It's not that you were announcing your arrival. You had already done, I think, that a year ago. But this was mad stuff.
I think more important than what it felt like after that, it's more important that I had been sitting out for a long time before that. I sat out for 2 test matches and 3 ODIs. So that was a long period of me sitting out and training. But the thing is, like, then when you get a chance, all you have to do is like prove yourself, like you're meant to be there.
Yeah.
More to yourself than anyone else. And I think that's what happens, because you feel that if not now, then when?
Yeah.
No, also like the pitch was amazing to bowl on, and luckily we won the toss and we got to bowl first.
Yeah.
I think when you are working hard, I think opportunity presents and some things fall into place. Like, I think even when I had played against Sri Lanka, some things had fallen into place. Deepti took an amazing catch. It happens. It happens all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't script that in sport, like in
Yeah.
life. You
But it happens.
Yeah. It falls in place. You're right.
It falls in place.
Something happened after that match though. There's something called 3 lakh ki party that started. You have to tell me about 3 lakh ki party. What happened, और वो 3 lakh की party हुई थी कि नहीं?
अभी तक नहीं हुआ.
Party नहीं दिया तुमने?
टाइम ही नहीं मिला उसके बाद से.
Tell me about 3 lakh की party.
So it's because like I think there were 3 awards, one player of the match, one
Yeah.
सबके लिए सबको something
हाँ.
SBI का. And there was another Dream 11. So
Okay.
there were 3 awards and you get the prize money of 1 lakh for each. And now that I had won all the 3 of them, so it was like 3 lakh.
Okay.
So now 3 lakh का party.
जो अभी भी pending है.
जो अभी भी pending.
Should I ask Jemmy to remind you that this party is
She will
pending?
anyhow remind me, so you won't have to.
The party has to be thrown. Lovely, lovely. I hope there are many more parties and many more of these awards coming your way.
I hope so too.
Yes, fingers, it's gonna happen. But tell me, Titash, what are your goals, cricketing goals? Let's say 5 years down the line, how do you see yourself?
I would like to see myself as one of the leading bowlers of the Indian team and the strike bowler of the team, and to be performing for India. And I would like to see the Indian team as one of the best and dominant sides in the world.
Inshallah, we all see that. You think Indian cricket, like the women's game currently in general, is in a good space? You think we've made good progress over the last 3-4 years?
I think we are growing. And it is up to us, the players who are playing now, to nurture it
Yeah.
and to grow more. And it is on us how far we can reach.
Yeah. Titash, thank you so much for talking to us and being on the podcast. I know it was an early start, but I did offer coffee. But before we let you go, we will do a quick rapid fire. So don't spend too much time thinking and let's just go. You're actually quite good with these.
Am I?
Yeah, I think so. Okay,
let's
let's
see.
go. Very easy ones. One cricket rule you'd like to see changed.
Bouncer, wide,
Okay. If not a cricketer, then what?
writer,
What kind of writing would you like to get into? Fiction, non-fiction?
fiction.
Okay. Favorite author?
Herman Hesse right now.
Okay. On a marooned island, the 3 things you would carry with you would be?
Oh. A torch, food, and water.
Okay. Good choice. On a cheat day, you like to eat what?
Phew. I like to have some ice cream actually.
Ice cream I can buy you today because itni jaldi uthaya tumko. Okay. In school, the subject you loved the most and the one you hated the most?
Loved the most would be English. Hated the most would be math, but I was pretty good at it.
Okay.
Oh no, I hated chemistry more.
Chemistry?
Yeah.
Okay. Your favorite city in the whole world?
City.
Or a country, whichever.
It's somewhere I have never been to. It's Doncaster.
Okay, so that's on your bucket list.
Yeah.
Okay. An artist you listen to very often?
There's so many artists I listen to very often.
Give me 3. What were you listening to yesterday, for example?
Okay. So there's this new artist called David Kushner. And then there's... I love One Direction.
Okay.
And I think...
One more.
Chainsmokers.
Chainsmokers. Okay.
Variety.
Okay. Yes, I like that. What is your hidden talent?
I don't have one.
Yeah, you want to keep it hidden, which is fine. Last one. Spell Titash for me backwards.
SATIT.
Well done. Good one. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking to you as always, and all the very best for everything. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.